What, and I would ask, the first question's what,
So you've had this thing going on with the big gap. What do you want instead?
yeah.
Should I step in here?
Step in front of the outcome space.
Well, I would love to have more function, any more function. I used to play the drums. I can't play the drums. I'd love to be able to play the drums. I'd love to be able to write with my right hand, to be able to do anything with my right hand that I can't do now. Any increment of improvement.
Now, when you were a kid, you wrote with your right hand, though, right?
Yeah.
So that's what you'd like. You'd like more range of movement.
Yeah, function, to be able to function, to be able to do acupuncture with my right hand, to be able to paint. I used to draw and paint. I can't now. To be able to play the drums, to be able to even to touch people in this range with that arm. Any of that.
Okay. So as you think about this, how would you know you were getting more range of movement?
I would be able to do any of those activities with I'm NLPing myself here. With my instinct is to say without pain or without.
Does it hurt?
It does, because yeah, after a moment it hurts because it's too much flexion. Yeah. So without pain, without any spasmodic stuff.
Okay. So
How would you know, this is important, so that's the ultimate outcome. How would you know you were on the pathway to having that happen?
Any incremental amount. I mean, I might be surprised to suddenly find that I'm grabbing things with my right arm in this range, going to the store and grabbing something off the shelf, or you know, reaching out and touching somebody with my right arm instead of my left, or any little changes like that would be big for me. Just noticing that. Yeah.
So so the context is really that part of your body in this case, and it's in any situation basically.
Any minor muscle movement, yeah.
And also, you said you've compensated. You've had to tell people about it, or
yeah, because it's you know, it's spasms in certain situations, and when you see a medical practitioner, you don't want to see their arm spasming all over the
as an
place.
acupuncturist, then you might just say, "Well, I'll just use this hand or something to your patients." Or,
So what would you be doing instead of explaining?
I wouldn't need to explain. It would be the greatest thing.
Okay.
I could just go about it, and most of the time I fake people out and they don't know about it, but if I didn't even have to think about it, it would just be smooth movement.
So you would be operating smoothly?
Yeah, and symmetrically. I mean, I definitely notice for myself that I have all of my expression with my left hand because I'm afraid of this one doing its own thing.
so get a sense. If you're achieving this, how would this be for you?
Oh, I think it would be a huge release. I even feel my voice change when I talk about it. I mean, it's...
So get a sense of that. That's quite different, isn't it?
Yeah. It's, I can't contain that.
Okay.
It's huge.
And just step back for right now. And we can always go back to these same places. But one question we'd have, probably have the same question. What differences in physiology did you notice between symptom and
An outcome.
There were
Okay, so write them down.
several. Now, don't answer us out loud, but just write them
Just
down.
write them down.
And Bob, if you'd write the question, the official writer
Right.
of the question.
Because there's significant differences between what he does in the symptom, the way he is in the symptom, and the way he is in the outcome that we just experienced from him. Significant differences. And you felt them, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
And noticed them internally. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You deserve that too.
Three or four things you think were significant.
Practitioner training, you really strained to see differences. You know, it was like, what are all the differences? And then when you get to this level, people do things so overtly you can't help but notice what they're doing. Or your skills have improved. Yeah.
All right, so step back in front of the outcome space. Again, you got this, and by the way, I'd anchored that before. I always would
Take advantage.
take advantage of a state that could be a resource state. So you said it'd be like relief, and you would be feeling really good. Let's step over this way. What would achieving that get for you? If you had that relief, you had that more range of movement, you could paint, you could write, you could do all that stuff. What would that get for you that's even more important? That. What is that?
That's just need for tissues, definitely. A feeling of belief in myself that transcends anything that I've experienced.
So this is a feeling of belief in yourself, like I can do it. And you said earlier, even if you didn't get the physical change, you wanted something else too. What would that be?
Just some knowledge of where it comes from, why, where it's coming from.
So some history, some understanding.
Yeah.
So if you had that, what would having that get for you?
Just a fuller sense of self, that it would make it okay. It wouldn't be this separated part of my body.
So it wouldn't be a separated part of my body.
It would be
Whole.
whole.
You'd have a sense of
feeling
wholeness.
of
So
wholeness.
it's really about who you are as a person.
Right.
Your belief about yourself and the way you move through the world.
And moving through a whole, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then have a step back.
Okay.
So let's ask that same question. What was different between the outcome and the effect?
Yeah. What shifted? What physiology shifts did you notice there? And there were many. Yeah. Already.
Yeah.
Noticing. Yeah. Yes. And do you notice the difference between what we call cold tears and warm tears? What was coming up for him over there in effect are what we call warm tears. It's like the tears of relief. You go with joy.
Self-appreciation. So one more thing. Step into the outcome. And then let's assume that you're getting this deeper understanding and you learn more of why this might be the case. And there's that deeper sense of self and that acceptance of self. What's over here?
It's just, the color is a little different. It was dark.
Is it still dark?
Black. It's darkish, but it's a friendlier, warmer, sort of a dark bluish color rather than a black.
So what's over here?
This area?
Yeah.
Just clear,
Okay,
open.
clear on this side, but darker.
Dark. Yeah, I can't see through
Step
over
over-
here.
If you really get into this place of effect, what happens here? You get that sense of, I can
The
believe in
space around
myself.
you.
Yeah, it just clears all that up.
It clears all that
Yeah,
out.
and then this becomes a functional area
Get
again.
a sense of this being clear and
Yeah.
functional. Got that? That's right. That looks different, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just gradually filling up with depth and detail.
Okay.
If this
Let
were
that
an
begin to
ongoing
happen
state, what would it be like?
There's some drugs that I know of. It's just, it's for me that being, my favorite space is out in the forest and just being overwhelmed with nature in a good way. And that's what that feels like.
So go there with it.
Wherever, like even in this room.
Let this space be, in this space of effect, let this all be clear. Got it? That, right
Yeah,
there.
it's still
That.
growing.
It's still what?
Growing.
Growing.
In, yeah.
Okay, so
Let
let
it
it
keep
grow.
growing. That's right. That, there you go. I'm just kind of anchoring it a little bit more when he hits that space.
Deepening that state.
Breathe into that. Just
Yeah.
get a sense of clarity all around.
If there were a color or a symbol associated with what you're experiencing here, Jason, what would it be?
It'd be like deep dark green trees. Yeah.
Get that sense.
that reminds you of nature.
Okay. Then go back.
So take advantage of the affect state and what's there whenever you can, because usually it can end up being a resource for you.
Notice for you, it was probably a lot easier to start clearing that up here than it would have been in the symptom space when he was into the problem. So, by the way, I would never go after cause unless I had a sense of what the symptom is, what the outcome is, and the effect.
So cause is usually the last place we go, if that makes sense to you. Because you have to know where you're headed before you can find the roadblocks or the barriers.
So often I've seen people who learn like re-imprinting. Somebody will come in, they'll say, you know, I'm just feeling nervous about this. And they say, oh, let's anchor it and see where that comes from. And they go right to cause. But you really need to know where you want to go first and what's important to you. Because it's, this is an opportunity to, I mean, maybe that you can regain more physical function. I don't know whether that's the case. But there's a lot more to it than that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Something about being your real self and enjoying your life is who you are. And he said something really important that was...
There was one word.
One word that I thought was a really important word.
Yes, especially related to this, right?
Well, he said, instead of asking you the question, he said, I'd be more whole rather than have this be a separate part of myself.
And think about this that we started with over here, this base, this hole.
Problems usually come from having disowned parts of yourself.
Yes.
If you disown some part of yourself, then it's disassociated in some way. It's not going to perform in exactly the same way. So.
So to me, really significant, and when Tim was asking that, I'm guessing he was noticing the same thing, that particular set of words is a clue that we want to follow and find out what created this.
And he's also defining the solution for himself.
Yeah.
If you can
Fully
reintegrate
honor.
this part of you,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't have all the exact same function that you want, it's still, you'd be more whole as a person, right? That's what's really important.
And you can fill that hole.
Interesting play on words.
Yes.
You can fill that hole with the whole self.
Yes. They're spelled differently, but hey, I heard the words. Yeah. So, we know where you're going and what you would like. Now, let's come over and find out what created this in the first place and got this dissociation from this part to occur and whatever. So, let's come back over into the symptom. He says, I like that best. You see, I want to go there. And tell me what it's like now. Because Tim's already done some work over there in effect. What does it feel like, and what's the ongoing experience now when you step into this and you think about your right and left hands?
Yeah, this side still feels a lot more capable.
Okay.
And this still feels kind of, it's definitely not dark like it was. There's little sprouts and stuff, looks like little stuff is happening over here.
Can you do this? Can you tell us how it is to gesture more with this hand? Leave the left one down.
What happens when you attempt to just use that hand?
Yeah, it stops right about here.
Okay.
And beyond that, there's this sense of all of this is just about to completely spaz out.
They get more tense then?
Yeah,
When I ask you
starting
to
back here.
gesture with that hand?
Yeah.
Even if you don't really try?
Yeah, my mind kind of goes blank too.
Your mind goes blank?
Yeah, that's what I was observing.
Right.
So,
What causes that? What causes that arm to just, or that side of you?
To do what?
Yeah. Now, okay.
To go blank. Yeah.
What's causing that?
I wish I
Okay,
knew.
when you stop breathing like that, and when you act as if maybe you're listening to something, that's what it looks like from here. Yeah.
Wait, where's he putting his
Where's,
eyes?
and you're, and,
Question.
yes. Uh-huh.
Step back up.
Yeah, step back out. Yeah,
There's
because you do
a
it-
whole bunch of things going on right now. First of all, when Suzi said, what?
What's causing?
Well, first of all, when we asked, I said, talk with this hand, what happens to his physiology? His whole physiology
Freezes.
stopped.
Uh-huh.
Suzi commented on the breath and stuff.
He stops breathing.
But where did he go? Where did he move his eyes?
Where is he?
And just write it down. That's an official question. Could you see over there?
Uh-uh. But you could see what his head was doing, could you? I mean, yeah.
So what was he doing with his eyes and his head? That would give you a clue
Clue.
as to what he was doing inside.
So, yeah, what was,
Can you do it again?
Well, the good part is, yes.
he will do it again.
The fact
He
is,
will do it again, yes.
he probably can't not do parts of it.
Uh-huh, right.
Without all
This is the
conscious
first
of
time to have him do it again.
Yeah, that's the beauty of
That's
having
why
these
you-
spaces anchored.
Yes.
Now, think about, one of the things I like to point out with the S.C.O.R.E is, think about how much harder it would be to gather all this information if you were in the same chair going through all the same stuff.
Mm-hmm. Just asking questions.
But if you do this, it makes it pretty easy to sort the information out.
So
Step
let's
back
have,
in. Again, tell us what's going on with your right hand.
yeah.
There it is.
There it is. Okay.
Suzi says, what's causing you to stop breathing?
Uh-huh.
There it is.
There it is.
Whatever that is.
And what is that?
Just empty space. Like complete silence there.
Complete silence.
Not in a good way.
Okay, let's come over here and bring this over here to
Okay.
the cause. And I'd like you to really be there. Let your eyes go over there where you're looking,
Oh, okay.
where you hold your breath, and you feel the empty space. I'm going to anchor that feeling. It's like, yeah. What happens? It won't operate.
Yeah, it's just a shutdown.
A shutdown, okay? When you shut down, what are you aware of?
I'm aware of the back of my shoulder.
Okay,
Like a signal goes to a certain point and it just drops.
okay.
Um,
How old do you feel?
it's,
Just let the feeling guide you. How old do you feel when this is happening?
10 maybe?
10? Uh-huh. There's some kind of shutdown. You blank out. You stop breathing. So let's just imagine you could step back one step to being 9. And move that right arm and see what
How many of
happens.
you, you all saw the shift in?
Uh-huh. Huh. And he breathes, yeah.
It's a little bit of stagnation up in here.
Okay.
Little what?
A
Little stagnation.
Stagnant in this area
Uh-huh.
too, but yeah, it's not something I can normally do. It feels really fragile, but it
Yeah.
can do that.
It
Like
can do
more
that.
possibility. Try just moving it
Yeah.
here.
It's
Okay.
Okay.
yeah, I know it won't go at all, but
Okay, let's go back to 8
okay.
and be playing with that.
Yeah, as soon as I'm truly 8, this just does its thing.
Okay.
And there's no consciousness about this at all
Okay.
being different.
No consciousness about this being different. at age 8, this is like the other arm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even thinking about it. It's just, as soon as, if I dissociate it, will go right back again. So as long as I'm 8, it's totally cool.
Okay,
So you've got all the resources.
yes.
It's
It's
a
all
matter of
there.
transferring them around.
To be 8 now.
Well, now, just as an experiment, just very quickly go back through 7, 6, 5. Let's just make sure that that operates fully and all of those.
Yeah, it actually feels a lot stronger the younger I get.
The younger you get, the stronger it feels.
Yeah, it literally feels like it's reconnecting my spine and everything. Like 5, 4,
Okay.
Yeah, it just
Reconnecting your spine.
feels integrated when I'm like really young.
Hmm?
When I'm really young, it feels very integrated.
Very integrated
Yeah.
when you're really young.
A quick question here.
But let's move him out
Over
of the
to-
space.
no. What do you notice about,
Thank you.
about gesture?
Yes. Write it down.
Write it down, though.
Oh, I'm so thankful for you guys.
And based on, another question might be based on what we're learning, at what age do you think something is relevant here? Remember
We
how
have a
we
clue, but we don't have that answer yet.
We don't have exact, but we've got some clues, very real clues. And just and for all of you who, I mean, since we were playing with counterexample earlier, you know we have a really powerful resource right here in a counterexample that he just picked up at age 8. And he made the statement, I just need to be 8. Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we ready to, okay, so come back. Let's go back to 10. And let's explore what happened when you were 10. It's got some kind of feeling associated with it. You stop breathing. You go kind of blank and your eyes move down there. What are you aware of at 10? Okay. What's that?
What's that?
I'm just remembering history as if it's going by in a movie. I mean, it doesn't. I don't
Okay.
feel anything, but I know what happened at that age. I mean, in my life, I had basically a new dude came into my mom's life. She was raising us, and within 6 weeks of meeting him, we were moving from our house in California up to Oregon. Very abruptly, and me and my brother didn't like this guy. He was a fine person, we just didn't like him. So that's, I mean, doesn't feel like a big thing, but that's what when I think of 10, that's where I go. The major shift from one, I guess, identity in California up to Oregon, which was totally different.
Okay, can you tell it's really different?
Yeah, and it took a few years to get used to that.
Uh-huh. So you're having to use some kind of flexibility to move from California to Oregon. It's not about the dude because he was a nice guy. You just didn't like him.
But,
Uh-huh.
and I was in 9-year-old love with a girl. And we had to leave,
Oh.
but she never knew it either, of course, because I was 9.
There was some unrequited love there that you had to leave at age 9.
But I remember that being one of the most painful parts of moving was I don't get to see her anymore.
Wait, notice which hand is he gesturing with now?
Mm-hmm.
More.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just the feeling is just of not being happy. I don't know what the reason is behind it. It's just a feeling of dread, I guess.
Dread.
Dread. Say more about that.
Uh-huh.
What exactly is causing that dread? That right there. What's that? That. See where his eyes are right now? Keeps going to that same place.
There's a fear, but I don't know what.
Okay.
I'm afraid of. I can
Say
feel
with this
it here.
hand. Say, I'm
Fear
afraid
of-
of.
I'm afraid of. It's a big blank.
It's a big blank.
It's a big blank.
Okay.
The words.
Is that what you're afraid of?
It's a big blankness.
Is your blank white or black?
Black. Big dark space.
Big dark space.
Mhm.
When you think of moving? Or is it related to something else?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Um,
Well, so hold your eyes there, where you're looking, and let yourself fully be in your body. And be asking the question, what is it that I'm afraid of?
being irrelevant.
Being irrelevant. Say more about that.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't
Uh-huh,
it?
yeah.
Okay. So acknowledge that.
Mhm.
Being irrelevant.
Yeah.
To whom?
To my family, because I was the king until the new dude showed up.
Oh, okay.
And I have a younger brother and whatever. I was kind of in charge of him, and
Okay.
but now I'm yeah.
You've lost your role in the family.
Yeah.
You're not the king anymore.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
All right. So thank that part of you that just gave you that information, Jason. Because you were saying, I really want to understand this. I want to understand where this came from. Yeah. No wonder it's been so confusing.
Just take a minute and acknowledge
And
that.
acknowledge
Let
that, be
feeling
with that part.
come out.
Give yourself a chance to feel it.
That's right.
This idea, I've just been dethroned. Yeah. What if I'm irrelevant?
Yeah.
Okay, let's step out of that. Okay.
So, take a big breath. So at this point, what might you think about doing as an intervention?
We have lots of choices.
Yeah. You want to
You
stay
want-
right